Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Skundr Tech channel. Aircraft carriers constitute a key component of a great nation's offensive and defensive strategies, since air power has always been an extremely vital part of any country's national security. These massive ships greatly extend the range of fighter and reconnaissance jets where land-based operations are not an option. United States currently owns 11 of these massive floating cities, but most of any country in the world. In nearly all cases they are some of the most versatile and technologically advanced ships in operation. Most aircraft carriers boast a carrying capacity of up to 90 aircraft, though some of them are kept on the flight deck. To ensure readiness, others remain below in the hangar bay. This garage-like structure is situated under the flight deck and covers more than 2/3 the length of the ship. Aside from the planes themselves, the 3-deck high hangar holds spare parts, fuel tanks, and a variety of other important equipment. There are also multiple compartments on the sides of the hangar where parts can be stored and worked on without interfering with other activities. Aircraft carrier flight crews need to minimize the chances of even the smallest debris finding its way onto the deck. That's why all training and maintenance work takes place in the hangar. This also helps with aircraft inventory and organization, as planes can be more readily moved fore and aft where few people can move around. To the stern of the ship, the hangar also features an engine testing area. This is where crews can ensure every engine is in proper working condition as intended before a plane goes up in the air. During the engine testing process, the entire engine is removed from the plane, detached from its cowling and set up in a special blast area. And this here components are inspected and repaired as needed, then put back into the engine so the entire unit can be reassembled and tested. If everything is in proper working order, individual squadrons are notified of their engine's performance ratings. Important components of the hangar bay design is the elevators. Depending on the configuration, US carriers can boast up to 4 of these high-speed aluminum lifts. State-of-the-art hydraulics, they can generally lift to 100,000-pound fighter jets at once, as well as thousands of pounds of other equipment. They are generally built around the outside of the ship, serving as part of the overall deck when not being lowered and grazed. There are multiple other smaller elevators as well. These are designed to carry weapons from the ship's magazine to the flight deck where they can be loaded onto the aircraft. These elevators are typically located behind the launch area to ensure planes can be armed and in the air as fast as possible. Is not right here. The power and magnificence of aircraft carriers are also reflected in their extraordinary ability to store, launch and land a wide variety of military aircraft themselves that need to be stored aboard the vessel. But all the munitions required to arm them as well. In fact, handling the bombs, missiles, ammunition and other ordnance stored on the vessel is one of the most important jobs on an aircraft carrier. Class aircraft carrier, the weapons are stored off the sides of the hangar bay along the main deck. After prepping, the weapons are transported to their respective aircraft using a series of lifts and ramps along with small dollies. Okay. Deck. These bombs and missiles are attached to the aircraft's hardpoints by trained crew members known as aviation ordnance men. These men and women use special dollies to help move these weapons into position. But attaching them is still a team effort thanks to its relatively small size and versatile capabilities. The McDonnell Douglas FA-18 Hornet is a mainstay aboard aircraft carriers. This here you can see both Hornets and Super Hornets taking off from the USS George W. Bush. The latter are larger and more advanced than the original FA-18s, which were introduced back in the 1970s. You can clearly see the Katabar system attached to the forward naming gear. This propels the F-18s forward at roughly 170 miles per hour, allowing them to become airborne in just 300 feet. Before taking off, the afterburners are ignited against a blast shield which protects crew members from the jet blast produced by the powerful thrust. This ensures the plane is operating at flight speed when it reaches the end of the flight deck. The last three letters of the Katabar acronym refers to the barrier arrested, recovery that allows leading aircraft to come to a complete stop with only the length of a football field to work with, though it is technically part of the same system. The arresting end of the Katabar design utilizes a very different mechanism. At the rear of the ship, special cables or arresting wires are stretched out over the landing area. Pilots must catch one of these with a special tail hook affixed to the rear end of their fuselage. They land with their nose up and the tail hook pointing downward. When the hook makes contact, the cable transfers the aircraft's kinetic energy to a particular hydraulic system located beneath the flight deck. This is essentially a cable and pulley system connected to a hydraulic cylinder as the plane's arresting hook pulls on the cable. The cylinders engage using the resulting pressurization to bring the aircraft to a stop rapidly after landing, the aircraft not kept on the flight deck for quick. A launch is taken to the hangar bay of the carrier. Moving these airplanes around this very crowded environment takes a lot of slow, deliberate work.